this is going to be kind of a hot take. I think so. There'll be people who are here. Ow, ow, okay, there we go. So I think there's this people will argue and they'll be like, not argue. Sorry, people complain. They go, "Oh, I want the body like The Rock." They like, "I want to be as muscular as The Rock," and you have to realize that's really, you can try, but that's really hard. The reason why The Rock looks like that, people go, "Whoa, how is The Rock so big?" It's because that's his job. Now, he's a businessman, he's this and he's this, but literally his job, one of the biggest things is him being huge. That's how he gets his acting roles. That's how he gets his, like, movie and stuff. He looks like that's his part. If he was skinny, he would not nearly be as famous because he plays that strong, badass actor. And so without that, he needs it. Like Zac Efron, he needs to be shredded because he plays in those movies. So that's their full-time career. It's just this podcast. I even go and I go, "Oh my God, I'm not as good as these people who do podcasts," or they have it much better together, because this is not my full-time job. This is a hobby that I'm doing. While those people, that could be their full-time job. People like Joe Rogan, that's their full-time job. This is what, I don't know if it's their full-time job, but they definitely do it like a lot.
This is their living.
This is their living. This is not my living. You know, if it was to be my living, that would be awesome. But like, that's just what I'm doing right now, so it's not as good. So like, what was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, like we had, like, let's say like a regular adult, they have a full-time job, 40 hours, and then you want to look like The Rock. The Rock goes to the gym, like, let's say like 3 times a day, every single day, or maybe like 6 times a week, and then he eats like all these times. Can you do that with an 8-hour shift? You really can't, unless you have like a really flexible job. You're not gonna be able to do that. And so like, that's why I think it's easier for celebrities to be in shape and to lose weight and get into shape for their movies than regular people, because they can actually commit their entire life to that. And plus their job is on the line, plus they have the money for trainers and promotions, and that stress, like, if I don't do this, my career is going to be on the line. Versus, let's say, like, you want to get into, like, let's say, like, you want to get, like, into I don't know why I was thinking of you being a bodybuilder for some reason. Let's say you want to be a bodybuilder. Okay, well, you're going to be trying to be a bodybuilder by this huge diet, by all this training and lifting. Oh, but again, you work, and you have a job, and you have a family, and, you know, like it's just too hard. You can't do. Maybe you can manage, but it's so much harder, and that's why a lot of people, they like always say, "I want to be like these celebrities. Why do they look so good?" Because that's their job. You maybe ask those celebrities, like, are they as good as coding as me? If I was a full-time coder for many years, probably not, because that's what it's the equivalent to those people looking at me and going, "Why am I not this good at coding?" That's because this is my full-time. This is how I make my living, sort of thing. There are people who just lift for a living. Like, when I say lift, I mean, like, you know, lifting sod or the construction. They are big, strong guys because that's what they have to do. If they are not strong, they cannot do their job properly. And so, what do you think? What is your opinion on this?
I mean, I think that's right. I mean, that's everything they have. That's all they know. That's all they gotta do. You don't have to worry about balancing other aspects of your life with that. I hear it goes the same way. Like, I actually heard this one thing about, y'all know, like, Melissa McCarthy. She's actually not allowed to lose weight or to lose past a certain amount of weight, just because that's where she makes her living, is off her, like, character, persona, look, right? So she's actually not allowed to lose, it's more than like a certain amount of pounds, just because otherwise she'll lose, like, she doesn't fit her role, so to speak, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy how, yeah, I didn't think about that, actually. There are people who need to be fat. That's their role. I remember that one guy from Parks and Rec. You know him? I forgot his name.
Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt. Oh, cutie. And,
I don't even think he's a cutie.
Really?
Really.
But his personality really shines through.
Okay, keep going.
Sorry. So, like, he was not in the best shape. I don't know if he needed to be in the best shape for Parks and Rec, but then all of a sudden when he wants to be in Guardians of the Galaxy, they're like, you need to get into shape. Well, okay, this guy is like, hey, Marvel's going to be like, hey, we're going to give you the trainers if you need it. We're going to give you the dietitians. We're going to give you the food plans. We're going to give you gym to work out at. You need to do this. He's going to get into shape. Trust me, because that's what he needs to do. That's his job. Other than that, he's going to lose all these other things. While us, You don't need to lift. I can be overweight and do my job just fine. I'm doing it for my personal preference. If I'm lifting 3 times a day or I'm not lifting at all, it's not going to affect my job unless I get like a stroke mid-job work, like mid-work. That's, that's what I think. You have any more things to add?
Not about that, no.
Okay.
I just think it just kind of sucks because they usually gotta fit probably like a certain profile.
Exactly.
They make it hard.